Leicester got it to Robertson. Christensen attacks it, poor bounce. Oliver, Kent.
Jack Watts in a paddock.
So Jack Watts on his lonesome here. Sits nicely for him. He flicks it to Harms. If it bounces, Harms can stroll in. They have demolished them.
It's blowing out now, and it's the ability when the ball in Brisbane's forward half, and then they just get out the back. And it was Jack Watts. See the top of screen. Look at Watts get on his bike now. He knows, and that's ball use. That's having faith in your teammate. He gets the ball, goes over the top to Harms. Harms didn't have to break stride. He got a really good bounce, but the amount of times they've been able to get forwards out the back is far too many for mine. No wicketkeeper for Brisbane. Had a number of goals. They've had raffles at times out the back, and yeah, the defenders for Brisbane, they get up the ground, but at some stage one of your defenders has to stay back when you see so much space that Melbourne forwards have had to run into.
Well, it could still be a 10-goal thumping. It just depends on what's in the minds of the Demons in this last few minutes. Viney extracts it. Hogan flicks it up. Harms delightful. Oliver.
Yeah, Jack Watts over the top. Look, I think the option was to kick the goal, but the handball over the top to Jack. He's been burned a couple of times today, Jack.
He needs to check his deodorant, Jack Watts. It's obviously not working.
Or start shouting the guys some lunch. Maybe
I don't know what he's doing wrong. He could have 3 or 4 goals to his name very easily, Jack Watts. He's got 1.
How does Paul Roos review this, Jace? Look, it's going to be a commanding victory in the end. They got the 4 points. They've been efficient going forward, but it certainly hasn't been a commanding victory in the end, because at three-quarter time we're talking about Brisbane and how they've kicked themselves out of it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Baz. The margin looks very good on the scoreboard for Melbourne, but we don't want Melbourne just to be competitive. We want them to jump up and be a decent side with this young talent they've got and put themselves into regular finals mix. So I think Paul Roos has got plenty to take out of this. They had the opportunity in the second term. It looked like they were going to break them open and win by 100 points, and they didn't do it.
Jeff Garlett used his body nicely. Runs back onto it. No one in the square. Central kick. Can Hogan get there? Protection for Viney. I reckon they've been a little better than the scoreline suggests. They've been awe-inspiring at times.
Oh, they're great to watch now, Melbourne, aren't they?
The young players just take it on.
What the concern now, though, Spud, is you look at the way that goal unfolded. That was uncompetitive for Brisbane down back.
No, he's assembling a nice, good young list, Paul Roos, and the Melbourne Football Club.
He's got time to eat snakes while he's delivering messages.
Yeah, and look, it's exciting to watch. You've got Bart, Jones, Petrarca, Vince, Jack Viney's just in all Australian form, so is Gawn, so it's great to watch.
He's an all-Australian pace at the moment, isn't he?
Oh, there's no doubting that point. Yeah, he's a leading contested ball player in the competition and clearance player, so he's right in there at the moment. If he was picked now, he'd be in. It's as simple as that.
Tom McDonald to Mitchie. Flicks it to Harms. Palm back to Petrarca, didn't get to him. Bastanak. Petrarca lays a good tackle on Bastanak. Tried to hand it over. Matheson.
For me, Dwayne, the speed of Melbourne's rise into that contender phase, it depends on how much they demand standards from each other as players as to what's acceptable and what's unacceptable in each and every play, each and every week.
Yeah, they have been up and down. There's no doubt whatsoever this year. They've let themselves down a couple of times, but I suppose inconsistency happens when you've got young players who are trying to establish themselves, and they've got so many young players who've been pretty impressive at times again today, all the way back to stretch. Mitchie, he's one of the players playing for his life to stay in the lineup. Well, they've got pressure on them to keep their spot on the team. Watts.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, Dwayne, and that's what you get when you get a really good young team. Pressure on for spots. Casey, their feeder team, are in really good form. Chris Dawes apparently got through a full game yesterday.
Garlett's in space again here. No one's going near him.
Hogan deep.
And the turnover to Martin. They had the numbers. He picked the wrong option. Max Gorn was behind. Christensen, Jones lined him up. Christensen took a dive. Matheson wide. Knocked away by Watts. Still got plenty of spring in his step at the moment late in this contest. Back inside to Bernie Vince. Margin screaming out to be 10 goals plus at the final siren and a percentage booster. Sits it up. Hogan! Not quite.
Winded himself.
Harms will do.
Well, they're just queuing up now. Hogan had it. He had his eyes on it. He winded himself. But you get that ball north to 30. Have a look at the leap of Hogan and lands on his back. Gets the feet taken from under him. But that's where your crummers are going to be. When that strong kick puts any defence under pressure. It was a beautiful leap. Just a little spoil there at the last minute, which is a pretty good effort from Payne, and Harms in the right spot. You got Bug. They're just queuing up now, Melbourne.
Yep.
Queuing up to kick goals. Brisbane dominated that third quarter. Didn't put any scoreboard pressure on. Melbourne have been in 15 times for 5 goals, 6 this quarter.
Rich Long, top of the square. Off hands Leicester. Breaks free, opens up the angle and sneaks it in against the grain.
Yeah, it was definitely against the flow. Centre clearance, you have your forwards one-on-one, get the ball long to north to 30. So the last 2 goals have created from strong contests, and beautiful kick from Rich, getting in a real dangerous position. All the defenders can do here, the McDonald boys and Garland, is complete in the air and bring it to ground. And Leicester was in the right spot at the right time.
It's a nice, easy clearance when you get a centre square infringement, isn't it?
It does.
Just
especially when you get Rich getting the free kick, Trace.
Jackson Payne just having a rub. Let's hope there's no hamstring issues.
He's done some really good defensive efforts today.
I thought his second half was very good. That looks like it might be a little bit back-related.
3 minutes left in the contest. Melbourne's had it wrapped up for a while now, the 4 points. Port Adelaide next week for Melbourne, so huge chance at the end of next round to be inside the top 8 if they can keep this form going. The Melbourne chant rings around the MCG. Christensen goes back. Hanley caught. Christensen tries to flick on. Matheson couldn't pull himself a high free there.
Yes, he can.
He's done enough, Dwayne. You talked about it, Dwayne. He is hard. He's won a lot of contested ball today, Matheson.
Rich. Almost a good puck to Oscar McDonald. Colin Garland. Jones. Vince. Oscar McDonald. Hunt. Found space where there wasn't any. Likewise, Jones.
Good vision.
Had an enormous amount of time to use it, but they are out here with 2 spare men.
Well, Jack doesn't get ignored this time, Grant.
This will end up with Hogan, surely.
Yeah.
So Hogan's inside 50 on his own, by the way. He's out of picture at the moment, but he's still screaming for it. Watts sees him, puts it in front, made it tough for him. He still gathers, just with the one lazy hand. Slips it off the boot to Bug. Heads to the goal square to Harms. Open goal. They have crushed them, really. Let's be honest.
They've dropped away.
Yeah.
That's totally uncompetitive. There were 3 defenders back for Brisbane, all of them standing 10, 15 metres in front of Harms. Now, that's inexcusable. It's OK to play a zone and say we're cutting off the space to lead in, but 3 blokes don't need to stand all in the same place forward of the player and allow him to be over the back.
The amount of ball that's got over the back inside the forward 50 for Melbourne, the defenders, led by Merritt, at some stage one has to stay back. They've just kicked too many goals over the top.
There's
like
the 3 players I'm talking about. 3 of them within 5 metres of him, but no one bothering to push back and man him up.
So Harms has 4 for the afternoon. The margin is 62 points. And as I said, this is off the back of losses by 77 and 78 the last couple of weeks by the Brisbane Lions. But you can make your own mind up at home whether this is impressive or it's just against a team that's only won 1 game. Hunt long. Merritt flies. Let it drop. Jeffy Garland spins around. Had plenty more time than that.
Another drop mark from Daniel Merritt. He is having a nightmare of a day out there. It's that decision. Do you mark, do you punch, and what happens when you execute both of them? And he was lucky not to get punished again.
Christensen. Max Gawn flies with Freeman. Stephen Martin loops it back. Mays. Pierce Hanley gets away from Watts, who's a little spent.
He's
Merritt, another fumble.
chest mark.
Just for you guys on cue. And just
Another high tackle.
Matheson, he might have the all-time record for high free kicks in a debut game.
Oh, in a debut game, no doubt. Nearly pushing for in any game. That's frightening. How many free kicks has he had?
I'm just going to have a look here. The free kicks for... He's had 6.
I reckon
6 free kicks.
At least 5 have been for high, if not all 6.
Yeah. It's got to be a record, one.
Run down from behind.
I'm calling it.
Stretch. Jones. Again, they've got spare men. Stretch thumps it wide to Watts, who's worked his backside off again. Beaten for it this time by McStay. Trouble McStay. And Watts. To Hunt. Demon fans, enjoy this final siren. Been some tough times for Demon fans in recent times, but this team is a team on the move. On the way up with a rocket. 63 points, the final margin in the end.
Yeah, great performance. Beautifully called, Dwayne. They're great to watch, aren't they, Melbourne? You couldn't have said that 2 years ago. They've got such excitement. They take the game on. They've had 36 shots at goal. The only thing they didn't do properly was kick accurately. 19 goals is still a good fill. But 10, 11 goal kickers, led by Hogan with 5. Harms was chipped in with 4 as well. Garlett was everywhere today, and Watts could have kicked 3 or 4. It started in the midfield. They did really get on top of the contested ball in the end. Brisbane matched it with them, and whatever chance Brisbane had was in that third quarter. They shot themselves in the foot, but the scoreline's a real smacking now for the Brisbane Lions, and gee, that's a great win, Jace.